The feds immediately raided and went to arrest Diddy as soon as they found out that 50 Cent leaked all the evidence. He's been trying to get justice for all the victims this whole time, and if you support that, go ahead and comment down below, put the 222s and like this video if you want to get justice for Tupac, for Cassie, Kim Porter, Heavy D, Aaliyah, and all the people who had anything to do with Diddy, man. At the end of the day, the feds know what's up now. They've been hearing it from all of the celebrities themselves. They've been hearing it from the people that have been around Diddy, and so they know for a fact that something was definitely going on. This is the main reason why J-Lo, she left him, and she was warning the next people who was like, she tried to tell Cassie to be careful, and Cassie, she was really too concerned about basically like how she was going to end up her career and everything. She didn't want to get fired from Bad Boys for going against Diddy. J-Lo tried to warn her. She told her to be very, very careful, and this is exactly what she was talking about. The fact that Diddy, he kept her all locked up and didn't treat her right. This was not a real relationship, because you know for a fact that anybody that's in a real relationship, they would have been treated way better than Diddy treated Cassie, and that's a fact. At the end of the day, people got to understand that the karma from Tupac, the karma from all the people that Diddy had something to do with, he got caught red-handed. Keefe started the ball rolling by snitching on him in the first place. That's what made Cassie comfortable enough to come out and put the whole allegations together she's been working on for the last 4 or 5 years, ever since she broke up with Diddy and she was able to get out of that relationship and everything. She couldn't say much at first because the NDA, but now that like Keefe was already putting the feds onto Diddy, this is what made her realize that she needs to go ahead and act right now or forever hold her peace. And if you guys want to get justice for Cassie, put the 222s in the comment section. If you're a fan of Tupac, let me know where y'all from, and like the video and subscribe, because now we finally getting the justice for everybody. And Diddy, he's backed into a corner now. The feds know exactly what they got. They got a 99.9 success rate. So when they go after Diddy, when they go after all these people with the RICOs, they already got everything stacked up against them. So that way the jury and the grand jury and everything, when it goes to trial, it's a sweep, it's done. And this is why the feds win 99% of their whole entire cases, because they know that the RICO from Bad Boys is due to the fact that Pdiddy wrote the check for $1 million to hit up Tupac from the Bad Boys wallet, and he gave that to Von Zip. Von Zip, if he was still here, he would have took the stand against Diddy, because he know for a fact that he's a finesser, and he's been telling people in the clubs he's Diddy's uncle just to get like extra money and special like entrances and permissions and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, he's not about to do all that time when Diddy was the one who came up with the idea to write the $1 million check to get Tupac out the way, man. And I want to send my condolences to Tupac, Tupac's family, Tupac's mother and his brother and everything like that, because they've been waiting patiently for so long, and it's taken 27 years for them to get an answer as to what was going on. At first, they knew it was, the streets knew who was really behind it. They try to blame Sugeknight, they try to blame a lot of people, but on all that, like, the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, Diddy was the one whose fingers was pointing back to, like, he had his hand all up in that. There's no way that, like, Gene Deal, when he said he overheard that phone call saying that he was gonna green light the $1 million check so that they could go and take care of Tupac, that was what's gonna pay for that white Cadillac to get painted. That was what was supposed to pay for them to all go on the run. Orlando Anderson, Big Dre, the dudes, Keefe was in that car. They had the driver and everything like that. And so basically, when they went and hunted down Tupac, it was all because Diddy made the request, man. They wasn't like going out of their own way to try to find Pac. They came and traveled and went to the same city that Pac was. They was trying to follow him until they got that green light, basically. And now that 50 Cent knows the actual like truth of what happened, he's not afraid to like call out Diddy and tell him that he was wrong for that, man. A lot of people, things would have been different, things would have been changed if Tupac was still here. And the fact that he got Biggie lined up the next year after, he thought once like the Tupac thing happened, a few months went by, and Diddy didn't think that he was gonna get in trouble, because he was like, this must have went to a cold case. So then he tried it. This is what made him think that he could do this to Biggie now. So he went ahead and put a plan together and everything about after that party how they was gonna get Biggie out the way. You know, that whole crew of cars, the caravan of the vehicles left that parking garage, and as soon as they took that right onto that street, it was somebody that was already waiting for Biggie's crew, and they they was in their own car. Why is it that Diddy told his driver to run the red light? How did he know that he should have ran that red light? Because he could have easily, if he paid $1 million to have Keefe D and them take out Pac, he could have easily paid 50,000 or 100K to have somebody waiting down the road until Biggie and them's car comes out. This is when Gene Deal said that the car pulled up next to them and they didn't even try to get Diddy's. If it was a robbery, they would have went to Diddy's car. So if this was just some people trying to randomly carjack or hijack somebody, they should have went to Diddy's, and then Diddy knew to run the red light because he knew what color of truck that was supposed to pull up next to them when that Suburban pulled up. He got flashbacks from Tupac, and he knew he had to get out that whole entire area before the LAPD and them come like straight up, man. And this is the reason why a lot of people think that Diddy has something to do with Biggie and Pac, because Gene Deal was talking about how, like, when Diddy was, he overheard the conversation saying that this East Coast West Coast beef is getting way too hot, and that Diddy said that he don't care if Pac gotta get out the way or if Biggie gotta get out the way. And all this stuff that's happening to Diddy now is karma from that situation where he didn't even care enough about their lives to like even try to, like, you know, make it to where he doesn't beef with them and he don't have to talk to them. He could just keep going about his business and everything like that. But he created the East Coast and West Coast beef to try to sell records, to try to trick everybody into picking sides. Y'all all fell for it, man. The East Coast, West Coast was to separate and divide people. You see what it did to people. You see how it had people beefing and basically on the wrong. Like, they could have been getting along and getting a lot of money this whole time. We could have been all connected as a community, but Diddy wanted to have that whole division from East Coast, West Coast. And then once it came and backfired on him, this is when he decided to take out the two main people, man, and the leaders of the movement. Like, Tupac was supposed to be a spokesperson for, like, doing the right thing and everything like that. Biggie, he's considered one of the best rappers of all time. If you guys are rocking with Biggie and Tupac, go ahead and put the 222s in the comment section. Put RIP Tupac, put RIP Biggie. And, you know, y'all know for a fact that when this whole entire thing comes out of everything that's been done in the dark, it's going to finally come out to light. And people are going to realize for a fact that Diddy's been involved in a lot of these things. That's why everything keep on happening to him. He's losing all of the merchandise inside of his stores. Neiman Marcus don't want to mess with him no more. Saks Fifth don't want to put their products in his store no more. And at the end of the day, people know for a fact that they dropping Sean John from a lot of things. 50 Cent is buying back Revolt TV for $50 million. He's buying Bad Boys for like $75 million. He's buying Sean John. He's taking the proceeds from all of the things that Diddy's losing. He's buying it back and giving it back to the victims and giving it back to the families who was done wrong this whole entire time at the expense of Diddy and his peoples and everything like that. And this is why he got in touch with Kimora Lee Simmons. 50 Cent was talking to all of Diddy's exes, telling them to come forward about anything that they might have had done to them, man, because he's saying that at the end of the day, this is like where all the karma from Diddy doing people wrong, treating them wrong, having all those exes that he was kicking to the curb and booting and trying to get them to do all of these crazy things and everything. They never did nothing to him. Like, for real, Cassie never did anything to Diddy to deserve that. Tupac and Biggie never really should have deserved that at all, man. If you really think about it, like, they should have still been here and things would have been totally different, and maybe Diddy would not have been a billionaire. Maybe Tupac would have been the billionaire. And what y'all gotta understand is that this is why we got to come together as the community, so we don't have people like Diddy that's bullying people around. You got to stick up for people. We got to understand at the end of the day that the community got to get a lot better, man. We let somebody like Diddy be in power like that. We kept pushing him and pushing him to where he kept getting more money. And we thought he infiltrated the community. He tried to act like he was a hero and everything, but like he was the one doing all the destructive work. He was the one that was basically destroying the communities and the youths and the mindset of everything like that, because he wanted to just have everything for himself and nothing for nobody else, man. That's the selfishness, the greed, the envy, the jealousy. It all plays a fact. It all plays a role and everything that happened, man. The money changed Diddy. At first, he was like, yeah, people thought he was a cool guy. He was from New York. He grew up around the block. Like 50 Cent and them knew each other at a young age and everything like that. 50 Cent grew up seeing Diddy like actually get into stardom and having the money get to his head and change him like that. A lot of people, when they get to the millions and they get to the 10 million, 50 million, 100 million, it's like they could have been chilling with 100 million and been good and had generational wealth, had enough to pass down, taking care of the youth and taking care of their families and stuff like that. But they didn't want to stop there. Diddy wanted to keep going, and he kept trying to throw people under the bus, and he stepped over a lot of people to get into the position that he was today. And all the people that had to suffer from that, they're the ones who's really needed the justice. They're the ones who 50 Cent is trying to advocate for. He's trying to get everything back like even, basically, and make it to where they basically gonna get cashed out for all the damage that was done, man. And they know for a fact that the feds are coming. NYPD's looking at the situation very closely. They basically keeping tabs on Diddy. Diddy in London, they saying. Word on the street is that Diddy left the country. He already basically doing what the Russell Simmons did, where he went to Bali. He hiding out for this because he knows that at the end of the day, if the DA and them and NYPD wanted to come out and grab him real quick to try to question him about the allegations and the accusations that's coming about, they easily could get him. But right now, this whole entire thing is going to the grand jury, and they about to do it for real. Did he do it or did he not do it? A lot of people think that Diddy did do it, and that the karma is all coming back from him just flaunting everything, acting like he was never gonna get in trouble for none of that, setting up Tupac, Cassie, Kim Porter. All of that has something to do with the fact that he's getting taken down now. And this is why people gotta realize that it's a lot of karma. You can't trust nobody. You gotta do the right thing. You gotta stay on the right path of righteousness. You can't be you gonna get the karma if you try to slip up like Diddy did and try to like be selfish and try to get a lot more out of it than all these ulterior motives. Like these people, Cassie, they thought that they was trying to get help with their career. They didn't know that Diddy was trying to do all this crazy stuff to them. And this is why this is a situation that's going to keep getting updated, and you got to keep staying subscribed to the channel and like the video, man.